Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are keeping well. So, another quick tip coming thick and fast today. So, any of you that have either just bought a Subaru second hand or have got a Subaru with slightly higher mileage, you may have experienced or been concerned about the wobbly gear stick. So I'll just put mine in first. We're not running at the moment. I mean, mine's relatively tight. Not as tight as when I first did this mod, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But it's okay. Let's just start the car quickly. Yep. You get a little wiggle as it turns over, but nothing too startling. I remember watching a video. a review of a Subaru a couple of years ago, and the gearbox, it wobbled when they started the car, and people put in the comments, oh, you can always tell it's a Subaru when the gear stick wobbles. You know, so when I first had mine, it used to wobble a little bit. It felt a tiny bit sort of sloppy in gear, first, second, third, wherever it was sat really. And when you got on the gas, you could see out the corner of your eye, you know, it'd start wobbling around under acceleration. Anyway, so just going to talk about the solution. I will put pictures in the video and I will put links in the video. So I went for all Whiteline. I know you can get AS Racing or there's another one I can't remember, Slow Boy Racing I think do one. Anyway, so I went with Whiteline just purely because I'd read good things about Whiteline. I was going down a lot of the Whiteline route with elements for my car. So I got the Whiteline front gearbox selector bushing, and essentially it's a bushing kit that's been engineered to eliminate sloppy gear stick feel. So essentially it replaces the OEM rubber bushings, which by the time the car's 10, 15 years old, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 miles old, they were soft I think when they were born, but as time goes on they get softer. So putting in the Whiteline uprated shifter bushings really helps, and it makes it a more positive shifting experience. So that's great. I'll put that in the, as I say, I'll put a picture of the product up and I'll put links in the description, and that all fits underneath here, so you can gain quite easy access to the linkage bushing, which I think we'll pop this up without scratching anything, and that's it there. So in that linkage you replace all the bushings. Fairly straightforward, so I'm led to believe, but I didn't do mine myself. It was another one of those jobs that was in for servicing and other things. So I did that, and at the very same time I did the Whiteline gearbox cross member pad bushing, and that just replaces worn suspension bushings to as new, and that with upgraded Whiteline black synthetic elastomer bushings. Again, very good. And I also treated the old girl to a STI Group N 6-speed gearbox mount, and essentially it's manufactured by STI. It's a genuine STI component, and it's a hardened gearbox mount produced by STI in Japan. And again, that reduces flex in the engine and gearbox movements. So again, because I was having the selector bushings, cross member bushing, and also the gearbox mount, I thought, you know, get it all done at the same time. My gearbox was out because I was having a upgraded bulk ring kit, the ceramic one, and a new hub synchro between 4th, 5th and 6th. Anyway, so that was out, so I was having those key components that I mentioned all done at the same time. Anyway, it has transformed the gearbox feel. Probably the selector bushings need replacing again. I've done 50,000 miles plus in the car, so they could probably do with being done again, but you know, the gear stick still feels nice. I certainly never see it out the corner of my eye wobbling around like it used to when I first got the car. And one other thing to say, just to remember, if you start down the rabbit hole of Whiteline tightening up, say upgrading your engine mounts or gearbox mounts, etc., etc., the more and more you upgrade the bushings and any of your old OEM rubbers and replace them with Whiteline products. And if you think about the pitch stop mount, for example, everything you firm up, you will eventually start to transfer that sort of feel into the car. So on mine, maybe when I'm in first and to a lesser extent second, I can hear a whine in the car, a little bit like a rally car. So essentially what you're doing is, because you've firmed everything up, the noise from your gearbox, you're starting to hear that in the cabin. So that's just something to consider. You know, if you go around making everything rock hard and upgrading everything, that is a potential downside. And at the moment, I mean, the car's kind of optimized for a kind of a balance between being fast performance vehicle, but also fairly compliant and enjoyable to drive on the road with family, kids, dogs, shopping, trips to the dump, whatever you want to do in your Subaru. You know, essentially, you know, they're good for their load lugging capacity. But yeah, so the more you err towards upgrading and stiffening up suspension components and engine mounts and gearbox mounts, gearbox bushing kits, and if you consider the pitch stop, uprated pitch stop mount, you will eventually start to experience more noises from engine stroke gearbox stroke potentially vibration inside the cabin. Anyway, so that's just something to think about. But as I say, the Whiteline upgrades, selector kit, bushing kit, and the uprated gearbox mount, absolutely brilliant mod, well worthwhile. Anyway, that's the last one today. So 3 videos today, all sort of quick quality of life type tips. Hope you enjoy them, and hope you're enjoying the content. If you would like, subscribe, share, hit that bell button, I'd really appreciate it. Alright, take care everyone, bye bye.